Okay, welcome everyone to our coverage of the Vision-Impaired Open Singles Final for the 2024 Australian Open between Jake Fehlberg and Calvin Rodgers. This live stream broadcast is brought to you by Bowls Gold Coast-Tweed media team on behalf of Bowls Australia. I'm Adam Taylor, and with me I have Andrew Reid. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, mate. It's good to be back. Good to watch another good game.
Yes, Jake just coming off the green after having won the Vision-Impaired Pairs Final with his partner Helen Boardman. And today Jake's playing Calvin Rodgers, someone that we haven't seen a lot of over in this part of the world. He's from Harvey in Western Australia. Before we get started, just let you know that the Australian Open is supported by Experience Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland.
And we're away. Looks like Calvin has won the mat. His first bowl's coming down. Well, have a look at this. As if this is any indication for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
wow. Yep.
Very good start, Calvin Rodgers.
So Jake, of course, still has his brother Cody as his director, and Calvin has Jason Scudens as his director. And once again, Jake is right in amongst it.
Calvin just trying to improve on his first bowl, which was very good.
Yeah, it looks like him to be about 2.5, maybe 3 feet at most from the kitty. And this next bowl is right on track to join it. Yeah, same weight. Beautiful bowl. In the right spot. Might force Jake onto his other hand now. Onto his backhand. No.
Staying on the forehand.
Staying on the forehand. You like to see that, don't you, with singles players, is that they're confident that their bowl can draw around something that far in front. He's come back to the line, but it's just a little bit too heavy.
Calvin's from the Harvey Bowls Club in Western Australia. Also now a member of the Jackaroos. He's had 6 international appearances, making his debut this year in the Trans-Tasman Series. So he's covered Jake's back bowls there. So Jake will be trying to at least get second shot with this bowl.
Yeah, beautiful grass line again for Jake. He has taken the weight off. Not sure that he's going to beat those two, but
well, it's coming up a little short. Gives up an opportunity for Calvin here to go back to the draw. Interesting to see if he stays on his backhand or tries to go to the open forehand.
well, pretty much like Jake, his bowl will draw around there. It's just having the confidence to say, well, if I can get the weight right, it's going to get there. But we'll see how he lines up. Yeah, it looks like he's going to stay with his forehand, him being a lefty. Sometimes it's confusing when you see him line up. You think, well, that's backhand. The one thing I do know about Calvin is he does like to follow his bowl up. Gives him a better idea of where it's going to finish, and that is a fantastic bowl.
Great bowl.
Bit of shake of the head there from Jake. Jack's changed his hand onto the backhand. He does look to have a better weight. This is a fantastic shot from Jake.
Oh, great bowl. Just a little unlucky.
Very
That
unlucky.
cuts
there.
it down from 3 to 1. Pretty solid first end, Andrew.
A very solid first end. And it was surprising, like Jake shaking his head there, being 3 down, and then just popping that one in. And he was unlucky to push it to Calvin. Quite easily could have just swallowed that and gone from 3 down to 1 up.
Absolutely. Jake is a seasoned member of the Australian Jackaroo squad, having played 98 internationals. He's aged 30. Calvin aged 49, just making his international team debut this year.
Well, it looks like Calvin's going for a full length. Given that he likes to chase his 3rd and 4th bowl, he's going to be puffed out at the end of the day. He keeps rolling that long.
So Jason Scoogens, the vision director for Calvin, just asking the marker there if the jack is on the tee, and he'll convey that to Calvin. So very long end here. Nice grass. Pretty good weight too by the looks of this. Another great opener.
Beautiful bowl for full length. And we have Mark Torrens is the marker for the boys. Is out there, so Mark will be answering any of the questions that the boys or the directors have.
Jake also coming down on the forehand. Just a little tight and lacking a bit of weight. We haven't seen a lot of Calvin at the Australian Open. He a couple of years ago was runner-up in the Vision-Impaired pairs. This year he was voted Bowls Western Australia's most outstanding player with a disability, 2023. And in 2021 he was Western Australian Disabled Sports Association's Sports Star of the Year. So certainly an emerging talent, Calvin Rodgers.
And celebrated too. Jake's coming in now. It's beautiful line now. This green really has picked up quite a lot.
This is a great bowl.
Yeah, what a great
Sensational.
correction. Yeah, those state recognitions are getting quite fancy now. I was lucky enough this year to make the finalists of the Para Bowl of the Year award in South Australia. And that award was picked up by Chris Flavel.
Yeah, well done, Andrew. I know you've been playing very good bowls of late.
Well, sometimes.
I believe you're going to play pennants for Burleigh this year up here.
Yes.
On the Gold Coast. Awesome.
Yes, home team in South Australia, Morphett Vale, but going to be playing for the Dragons this year in pennants.
Well done. Look forward to the clash against the mighty Dolphins of Paradise Point.
Yeah, it's amazing. Dolphins aren't scary.
Okay, Jake, back on the forehand. Looks to have nice grass once again.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, you've got the confidence after your first bowl. Or bowl coming in just a little bit shy of the speed of this one, but probably finishing in a good home to stop Calvin having a run at it. Looks like Calvin is using Henselite XGs. Jake's using the Aero Evolve. So given the amount of finish that the green has, Calvin could probably draw around that front left bowl of Jake's. Little touch of the kitty back for 2 would be nice.
They obviously work very close together as a team, these two. They wander down to the head together and speaking all the way down and back.
Yeah, very, communicative, these guys. I've seen a bit of them around the oh, he's having a little shot, probably a little too wide.
Yeah, had a run at the shot bowl there, but just coming down a little wide.
We had nothing to lose there, so...
No. Had 2 seconds.
Yep.
Jake an opportunity to draw a second shot.
Having a disability myself, I do get a little bit jealous watching players like Calvin running up and down the green. Oh, thought he was going to get a little slice there.
Slice nearly. So that's a nice opening to this Vision-Impaired Open Singles Final. 1 apiece after 2 ends.
Yeah, just one signal there by Mark. Can't really see it on the screen because all the guys are in front, but so Jake has brought the mat up straight away, and looks like he's trying for a shorter end.
Interesting, because the pairs final this morning, he and his partner Helen Boardman were playing quite long ends.
And being very consistent at it.
Yes.
But given what Calvin did over those first 2 ends, that's you can see why he changed.
Absolutely. Great point, Andrew. Okay.
He's come down. Well, I don't know. We haven't seen one on this side to see how it's coming in just yet, but I think it's more too much weight than anything else. Jason just letting Calvin know that he was high and behind.
Lovely smooth delivery from Calvin.
Looks to be on a very good track. Might run through just a little bit, but if he takes the kitty, that doesn't matter at all.
Lovely bolt.
Now Robbie's given us a view of Jake's bowl at the back there, which now becomes relevant if he's looking to draw that kitty off.
This looks a better bolt from Jake. Very good reply.
Very nicely done. Just a bit short. Definitely 1 to Calvin. And Calvin will have to stay on that same hand, on his forehand. Very well down again. And coming home quite nicely as well. Well, that's probably going to be in Jake's way now.
Yeah, he
can
does
certainly draw around it if he's got his weight right, but I wonder if he thinks that it might be in his line and change hands. It looks like he is.
Not a chance of running into his own, or if he's a little tight, just sitting the shot bowl out. So, good play here from Jake Fehlberg.
It's always good to play the higher percentage shots, where you get a double chance, if you like. As Adam said, can roll his own bowl in, or if he's underneath, he can sit the shot bowl. It gives him 2 chances.
Another good effort there, just lacking a touch of pace.
Get a nice angle here of Calvin's release, very smooth. Very smooth and consistent. It's a bit wider this time. I don't know if he'll get back all the way, but it's certainly going to go behind.
Yeah, it's in a good home there. Now Jake's fattened up his own target here, so he can hit either of his bowls.
Yeah, he can be very confident here. He's still only the one down, so yeah, he's certainly giving this one a chance. He's going to draw around behind and then come behind Calvin's last bowl, so
yeah,
still be one down, but
he's got two very good backwards, but run out of bullets.
yeah, it's never a good feeling to run out and the opposition's still got one. Let's see what Calvin does. I would suggest he'd stick pretty much to what he's been doing. His forehand, being a left-hand player, just come down, try to sit on his shot bowl, make that the target.
Yes, well pointed once again.
And there's the jealousy, all that running. Very well done here. Beautiful bowl.
Great bowl.
Yes. And well called too, I might say.
Okay, two.
So it'll be 2 to Calvin. So 3-1 Calvin's way after 3 ends.
Yeah. Interesting to see if Calvin goes back to long again. He seems to be pretty handy at
any length.
Any length.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you pick up 2 on a length like that, you'd probably prefer to change, keep it the same.
Yes.
So we'll have a look, see if the marker calls out, or he won't have to. Just tell him it's right on the tee. So it's about 34 metres. Wrong line. He's been told. There we go. The mat's up about 4 metres, so be pretty close to a 29 metre length.
Yep. So both Calvin and his vision director Jason Scoogens made their debut with the Australian team this year. The vision director has a very important role to play. It's very much, although it's singles, it's very much a team game in the vision impaired's category.
You'd have to think that they'd be talking along the singles line, but they'd also be thinking about that pairs aspect of the game.
Yes.
Very good weight from Jake's bowl there, just cutting the head a bit. And Calvin on his backhand. So he seems to like that side of the green. Yeah, he's coming.
Again, another nice bowl.
Yeah, very well done. He's fixed his line. Still only just short. Okay, Jake's coming down now. Just trying to draw around that bowl of Calvin's, which he has. Very well weighted bowl.
Yeah, it's good adjustment from Jake.
And that looks like it's just fallen in for shot. No, yes. Yeah, Mark was just holding up an orange marker there. It's just so it's one for Jake. This looks on a very good track from Calvin. I don't know about his weight. If he gets under his own bowl, not quite, but 3 very handy and usable bowls there. Jake and Cody asking the question about who's holding shot. Now his marker is indicating it might be one down, could be a measure.
Having a good think about this.
So he's delivered the bowl. He's a little bit tighter, but he does have a little bit extra weight on.
Still needs a bit more grass there.
Yeah, so it's running narrow. The weight in the end was pretty good. I actually thought he was trying to run one of those bowls through and just dribble up to the kiddie after hitting it, but the weight looks to be just about jack high.
Jason having a good look at the head there just to see what the situation is. Now having a good conversation with Calvin prior to him getting on the map.
That's interesting.
He does look to have one shot.
It's Calvin to deliver his last, again favouring his backhand.
Another beautiful smooth delivery.
Well, this one looks pretty good. Looks like he's going to make it through the gap to that back bowl. Oh, yes.
Yes,
Very
what a great
well
bowl.
Oh, what a fantastic shot. Puts the pressure on Jake now. Jake's having a good long look at the head, as he should.
Important bowl here at 3-1 down and 3 down at the head. So this will test Jake's ability. Having a run.
He's having a run at it, and he's very close.
Holy dooly.
That was close. You could offer him $50. I don't think he could do it again.
If there's a hole that's impossible to get through, we always find it in bowls somehow. Couldn't find it playing soccer.
No.
So we were saying before the different categories when it comes to vision impaired sport. Here's as we see a replay of Jake's on shot.
Gee, he only just missed that.
Calvin is in fact classified in the B2 classification as far as vision impaired sport goes. And Jake a B3. All have different levels of impairment of what vision they actually have, what light they can see, and what objects they can see, and what movement they can see.
6-1 to Calvin, and 33 the call is.
33, so
the mat's up a little bit, so be a shorter length than what they've played. Correct grass again from Calvin. He's very good at getting his grass coming home very nice. It's a fantastic bowl.
Fantastic bowl. He's absolutely showing that he deserves his spot on the Jackaroos team.
Absolutely. Jake coming in now. Not to be left out of that squad. Look, just missing
Brilliant.
himself.
So Calvin getting instruction here off his vision director Jason Scourgeons of just where his bowl has finished and where his opponent's bowl has finished. So he's back to the draw on his forehand.
It looks like he's trying to get behind with this one, which you'd have to suggest would be a good move, especially being 6-1 up. He hasn't quite got behind. I don't know that he's made enough into the head to be able to count, but
Weight was good for the draw, but as I say, I think he was trying to get at least back to Jake's bowl there.
that would have been the plan, I would have thought. I mean, Jake is too good to consider that, that would be a safe second shot for him. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, what a great shot, Jake Fehlberg. Appears to have shot.
Yeah. Well, I think the marker was holding up blue. So again, we see Calvin favouring that non-ditch side of the green.
I think he likes this. He doesn't want to push his own out.
No, I think he's going to sit and stay. Oh.
What a bowl.
Well, I think that did everything.
He's still holding up one blue, so it nearly nudged it back to Jake's bowl, but...
Well, I think it did nudge it to Jake's bowl, and it came ricocheted off of Jake's back and came back. Jake's probably wondering what he has to do now.
Yeah. Cody indicating to him that he's like just centimetres.
Oh, what a great camera angle that is.
Brilliant, Robbie. This is in the area.
Yeah, I like this. I like this choice from Jake. He's saying, "I'm gonna."
Tell you what.
Oh.
Incredible.
Well, look at the standard of this. Vision impaired, you would never know.
Absolutely, you'd never know. Incredible.
I have played against Calvin before, and he is a very good and consistent bowler.
He certainly showed that thus far.
So let's have a look and see what his decision is here.
He hasn't really played his backhand a lot.
No, he's not favouring this ditch side at all. He's only goes on there when he has to, but
he likes it again. The hat's off.
Yep. He's talking to it, wheeling it home.
Oh, great effort. Just goes behind.
Well, look, I've got to say, I don't think that's a bad bowl at all, even where it's finished.
No, I agree.
I would suggest that would be a very difficult bowl, very difficult shot for Jake to draw that. So I could imagine him playing his backhand onto his front bowl to push the blue out. Even if it moves the kitty, it's likely to go over to his other bowl. He's holding 2 seconds. He could easily turn this in. Well, not easily, but...
Yeah, could easily get a couple out of this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
one of those shots as a bowler that you go, oh, I can get 3 here, and then you go down 2. But
yeah, it's one that I'd be going through that gap and wishing I'd had another bowl. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you've got to give it a go. I mean, at 6-1 down, you've got to give yourself an opportunity, even if you miss.
Can't be short.
If you're in the area, it's still a confidence builder.
Okay, on his backhand, trying to come onto his own bowl. or the shot.
Yeah, he's definitely got weight to come onto his bowl and knock it out. I think he might be just a tad wide.
I think you're right. It is swinging hard now, but just a tad wide.
It was
His
a
weight
beautiful
was great.
weight. Beautiful weight, yes. He was definitely trying to roll that out for 3, so... So it'll be 7-1 to Calvin, but the score does not reflect the play at all. I mean, if you were Jake, you'd be sitting there going, what do I have to do?
Why aren't we 3 or 4 all?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But Calvin is absolutely bowling superbly. Jake is going to have to play at absolute best to get him in this match, I think.
Well, the most important thing for me, I think, for Jake now is just not to panic. I mean, he's got the pedigree, he's got the skills. He knows that he can draw well, he knows he can bowl well. These two have met on more than one occasion, so just relax in, get your draw happening. But when you see opportunities like you did the last end, have a go.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a long way to go yet in this match.
Not a good start from Calvin.
I tell you what, he's on song.
Absolutely fantastic start from Calvin. As a parabola myself, Adam, I have to let you know that over the last, I'd say, 8-9 years that I've been playing parabolas, the last 2 to 3 years, the quality and number of parabolas, blind bowlers, deaf bowlers coming through is just phenomenal. And they call it parabolas or vision-impaired bowls, but the reality is that they're just every bit as good as an able-bodied bowler, and it's a very good equalising sport.
Absolutely, I have to agree 100% with you, Andrew. I've played recently with...
Another fantastic bowl from Jack.
I haven't played against a vision-impaired bowler before, but I've certainly played with bowlers with a disability, and the standard across the board is very high. And those two bowls, would be welcomed by the finalists in the open singles.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still favouring that side. He's not happy. He thinks it's a little bit wide, but I think it's going to come back more than he thinks. Certainly not happy with the bowl, but there's a second bowl behind, especially as a catcher through that gap. I wouldn't be upset with it at all.
No. Calvin defeated Fred McConnell in the semi-final. Fred was just the runner-up with his partner Jackie in the vision-impaired pairs.
Yes.
Whilst Jake defeated Scott Kinnear from Proserpine in Queensland in a close match, 21-17.
Yeah, they were at Mermaid yesterday. Yeah, I was at Mermaid. I won through my section in the parabols and then won my first 2 knockout games. So I was on the green next to these boys when they were playing yesterday when I lost my final, the quarter final. What a fantastic bowl.
Oh.
That's exactly what he tried to do with his second bowl.
Standard is, I haven't, as I said earlier, I haven't watched a lot of vision-impaired bowls, but the standard is just out of this world.
Oh, look, the only difference that I've ever noticed with vision-impaired bowls is that there's less upshots, less driving.
Yes.
It doesn't say that it doesn't happen. In para bowls, you get less drives. In vision-impaired, you get less drives and less upshots. But otherwise, I mean, have a look at this. If he can slice that through that gap, no. Oh, but what an excellent effort. I mean, if you had your full sight, you wouldn't be upset with that.
Absolutely not. It's wonderful. He doesn't want to fatten the target up here too much, and I think his discussion with Jason here are to perhaps
I think it'd be
cover
defensive. Yeah, I think it'd be a defensive shot that they're talking about playing.
Yes.
Maybe coming through between Jake's bowl and his bowl there on the left of screen, just sitting back on the 45-degree angle, maybe about 3 or 4 feet. Stop Jake from trying to move the kitty. Just leave him with a dead draw.
One of the joys of the game, of course, is the decision making. If you've got a number of options and you can only choose one.
Look, I always tell people, because as a coach, and I only coach disability bowls, or disability players nowadays, it's not just a matter of being able to put the bowl down. That's only one aspect of the game. The strategy is the strategy in the way that you attack, defend. I mean, it's almost like a game of chess.
Yes, couldn't agree more. Okay, big bowl here for Jake.
Okay.
With a little bit of weight.
Very controlled weight, but I think he's under. Yeah, he's cut his line a little bit, but that was the idea. Try and move that kitty back. If he got that back through the gap on a draw, he could have ended up with 3. So he certainly looked at the head the right way, just lost out on the execution, which is something that everybody does, able-bodied or disabled or blind. It makes no difference.
No.
He's thinking about the strategy there. So, I mean, from what I can see, that both the players are really looking at the head and considering their shots and calculating their shots very well.
Absolutely. Calvin's just been so consistent. It's just such a smooth delivery, and I think he's going to cement his spot in the Jackaroos squad.
Very much so.
Again, gone to a fairly long end.
Seeing the standard of this one right now, I don't mind mentioning that I played Calvin a couple of years ago and beat him.
Yeah.
I was quite happy to go through that without saying anything, but seeing the standard he's got, it's like, well,
He's very good. I've played you, Andrew. I certainly haven't played Calvin, but I've played you. I know how well you can put them down, but you would have to play very well to beat this fella.
Yeah, you do, yes. Yes, no, my experience now is going from an able-bodied player to a para player. I don't take anything for granted now. I don't consider that any disability or any handicap that someone might have would be a disadvantage.
Okay, Jake needs to lift here, and
he's just a bit shy. But no, you're right. He does need to lift. He needs to keep his confidence up, keep his head up.
again, another super smooth delivery from Calvin Rodgers.
I think he might have dropped the weight on this. He's turned his back on it.
He knew it wasn't
Yeah.
what he was after. Gives Jake another opportunity.
Well, I think it gives Jake the opportunity now, because if he can get on that kitty before Calvin, very good grass for Jake's bowl. His speed looks very good as well. This is a fantastic shot.
This will be number 1.
What a great correction.
Brilliant.
And that's got to be a confidence builder.
Okay, for the first time on the mat, a little bit of pressure for Calvin. Let's see what he can do. Likes it. Hats off. Is he here though?
A little bit of we've got Robbie up fixing some technical issues. Just beside the buzz.
Okay, Jake. Another nice white draw.
It's coming down nice again. It's probably a little bit heavier than this last. But if he goes behind.
Another great bowl, Jake Fehlberg.
So we just Robbie's just apologising for those that are receiving the buzz. He's fixing it. The claw hammer's out. Chisel. A spanner. Yep. 4B2. 4B2. There we go. He's put
If
it
in
away.
doubt, the 4B2 works.
Yeah. Needs another little tap.
Okay, big bowl here for Calvin.
It's uncharacteristic for the end. If he's lost a little bit of consistency there with that change of that length. No,
Be a
this is
little
not-
heavy again for that. Here, so
coming back, so there's an opportunity here for Jake to.
yeah, to storm back into the match. It's
I think that front one might even be close to
to a third
counting. Yeah,
shot. Lovely grass again here.
lovely speed again.
Trying to come in under the blue.
He can use the blue. Oh,
He doesn't want to knock it in.
Ooh.
Oh, he was a little heavy. But 2 and a measure perhaps here for Jake.
well, 2 and a measure for 3 or 4. It's very hard for us to tell with the angle that we have. Well, they're conceding the obvious to pull them out the way because it gives you a better judgment on what's left. If I was Jake, I'd be down there measuring for 6. Pull an extra couple out of the bag.
6. You're doing well to get 6.
That's a third one. They're going to have a look at that last one? I think so.
Just
No,
the 2.
Just the 2? I thought it was 3.
But a much needed end win there for Jake Fehlberg. Brings
Yeah,
it back
3.
to 9-3.
9-4. That was a 3 then?
3.
Yeah, that front one was in.
Was
They
in.
pulled it out early.
9-4. Okay. Take the mat back. Back near the tee. Just apologise for those who have got any sound difficulties.
Yeah, if you can hear any buzzing, it's probably coming from Robbie and his moustache, not us or yours.
So an interesting tactic from Jake going to a much shorter end.
Here he comes down on using his forehand. Yeah, the speed of this green has really picked up. I just watched that bowl come out of Jake's hand off screen, and the difference between now and this morning is pretty massive. So that must be playing on Jake just a little bit. Take him a bit longer to get used to it than Calvin.
It's probably running at least 16, probably up towards 17 seconds.
very nice bowl here from Calvin. He's adjusted to that. A little bit long, but it's counting his shot. Won't make Jake change his hand. It's well behind the kitty. Just be looking to draw this just around his own. If he's under it, it doesn't matter, just so long as he doesn't hit it. Oh, there you go. Now Calvin's got to make a decision what he's going to do here, because I think that's in his draw line.
Yeah, sticking to his forehand.
Hasn't really put any extra weight on it either, so just maybe he's just looking just to draw in, make sure he's into the head. Don't let Jake crowd it himself.
Very good bowl.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is your opponent to get 2 or 3 in there and then you've got no draw at all. Sometimes it's better to get in and make a movement of the other bowl or the jack.
So Jake, 1 down. In she swings.
This is coming home very nicely. He can even come behind and flop in with these bowls. Not quite.
No, still 1 to Calvin.
So we are seeing a change of hand now from, oh no, Calvin staying on that wider hand. Although it's a bit hard to say it's a wider hand now.
Yeah, they're both pretty wide now. Beautiful weight.
Fantastic weight. Jake choosing to leave his own bowl sitting in the way for Calvin to knock up. If he can just reach Calvin's bowl on the side.
This looks pretty close here. He's around that. Oh, just knocked it in.
It's not what he wanted to do, but it didn't matter. It was already shot. And the opportunity for him to roll it out and make 2 is too big for him just to let it go.
Okay, opportunity here for Calvin to add a second shot. Probably on his backhand around the very front yellow of Jake's.
Yeah, it's his favoured side of the green. Doesn't like playing this ditch side very much at all. And for those of you that you can see the tent up in the top right corner of your screen, that's closest to the ditch side. So
Yeah, being a bit careful there, but understandably so. 1 more to Calvin Rodgers, 10-4. So he's almost halfway to the 21 goal.
score still really doesn't reflect the standard of the game.
No, Jake has just been a little unlucky, just missing a couple of shots by half a bowl or so.
And to be fair, when he's put in that perfect bowl, Calvin comes in with a perfect reply.
Yeah, he's got all the answers.
Now Calvin's choosing to go shorter than he has. That's up about the 31 metre mark by the looks of it. Yeah, 31 is the call.
You can see those numbers on the ditch, left side of screen, indicating to the players the metres away from the tee.
So with the mat being up about 4 or 5 metres, it's probably about a 28 metre length. And Calvin didn't look very happy with that as he goes along, but the line is there.
Important for Jake to get his first couple of bowls in the head and put a bit of pressure on Calvin from the outset.
Yes.
Doesn't want this lead heading out any further than 6.
No.
Green is really speeding up now. You can see both players just... They did roll this green after this morning's matches, so it's probably lifted another good second and a half.
I'd agree with that. It certainly is finishing a lot more. There's a lot more finish. The bowls are coming in from a wider distance. Let's see, Calvin. Yep, staying on that non-ditch side, which is a really good lead tactic too. Just if you find your grass on one side of the green, stick with it.
Lovely bowl coming in here.
And he's done it again.
If he misses with his first, he's straight back on it with his second.
Very good at correcting. Yes, very good at correcting.
Pressure back on Jake.
Yes. Well, it's still only his second bowl. He is changing hands. With his second, he probably could have even stayed where he was and just looked to roll that bowl of Calvin's over once. With the green the speed it is now, it probably would have pushed the kitty back to his, but very easy to play from here.
Absolutely. Never put a bad bowl down from here.
Nope.
Okay, Calvin back on his favoured forehand on this away from the clubhouse side.
And he's just about played a perfect one the bowl before. He does look to be a little bit narrower this time, but that's not going to matter if he clatters into his own, which he has.
Very good bowl again.
And that's actually finished in a very good spot too. You can see on the screen there, if Jake makes head contact on that front bowl, the kitty's going to go straight to Calvin, so better off now just trying to draw to get second shot before you try anything drastic.
Yeah, it's playing with a bit more weight here, a bit more straight at it, and it's heading in the right direction.
What a fantastic effort.
Oh yeah.
Well,
again, he's just missed by half a bowl.
Yeah, and he's opened it back up now. He's got that shot back on where he can roll that bowl. Yeah, they're looking to... It looks like Jason, the director, is just saying to him to look to cover that bowl back here.
Yes. He's got to be quite happy where his shot bowl is at the front. So he's looking to cover that back yellow of Jake's.
He can sit inside that quite comfortably and be holding 3, and then the pressure is right back on Jake. He is the non-preferred side of the green that he's playing, but every time he's been on it, he's been very close.
Close again.
Well,
wow.
Well, I think he's short. I think he's short from where he needs to be.
Short of his target?
Yeah.
Wow. Over to you, Jake Fehlberg.
Yeah, he's throwing his hands out going, I've got to go and have a look at that.
Wow. Well, his trouble now is if he does attack that front bowl, it's likely to stay once it hits the other blue bowl.
Well, exactly. I mean, what would you play?
Well,
would you come down on that non-ditch side and look to a bit of weight to punch both those bowls out?
I think so. It's just the draw has got to be so precise. I mean, a perfect draw will probably cut it down to 1, but percentage-wise, perhaps he goes at the bowl.
I think, yeah, if he goes at the bowl with really controlled weight, if he's a little bit wide of that front bowl, he can sit the back bowl through, B for 2. If he can get hold of that front bowl, he could perhaps push them. They'll split each side of the kitty, and with the right amount of weight, he could just roll on and sit that back bowl.
Let's see if he can do it, Andrew.
Well, it's lining up for the backhand, I think. Yes. Well,
Tell you what,
look
he's
at
not
this.
far away. Oh, just failed to hit the second blue, and he's cut it down to 2, but
That's a mighty effort.
again, he probably deserved more than he got out of that.
I think so. I mean, that was the perfect shot, and he hit it. But, well, I'd say if he'd hit it a quarter of a bowl over, it probably would have got both, but you can't pick a quarter of a bowl.
No. Very high standard match.
Very important now for Jake not to get despondent and think that it's running away. We've all been in situations where you can be down, but you just treat it like a game of 2 halves or a game of thirds or a game of quarters.
That's right. You can only play one end at a time.
That's it. Another beautiful release from Calvin. Bit longer this time by the looks of that one. Gives Jake the opportunity to jump on it first. I mean, we're saying it's a bit long. The reality is it's only about 4 foot long.
Again, his grass is just perfect.
Yeah.
Good to see Vince Calabrese watching again from the Austral Eagles Bowls Club in Sydney. How are you, Vince? Okay, Jake, this is looking to be a pretty good reply.
This is a very good opening bowl from Jake, especially under the pressure that he is. Yeah, it's fantastic.
The standard is just out of this world.
And we will remind everyone that this is the Vision-Impaired Open Singles Final. That's correct, Vision-Impaired. Getting help from their directors, letting them know what the head is like. But important to know that the bowlers make the decision about what shot they play.
I don't think he was entirely happy with that. Knew it was wide, but still.
No. I think he was trying to get behind.
Yeah, it's not really going to be in play now.
No. And Jake is not afraid to play under that. He knows his draw is under that bowl. So just got to pull a repeat out of the bag. So I'll have one of those again. Thank you very much.
Very good.
And it's in a very good spot. Yeah, great shot there from Robbie. That gives you a great idea of how that head looks now. See, is he going to change his... Yeah, looks like he's coming down on his forehand this time. Well, he's got a good line for a draw, but I don't think he's going to get inside that second shot.
Too much weight, but does give him an opportunity to come in on the shot bowl and move the kitty into that catching area.
That's correct, and they're playing no dead end, so the kitty will go back on the tee.
Okay. Looks to be in the area once again.
Yeah, very similar to his first two. Well,
very good.
Jake's just reminding everyone why he's here.
Yes. And that makes it more difficult for Calvin now.
Very much
He's
so.
moved the kitty away from that front bowl, so it will no longer spring all the way back to his own bowls.
No, there's no. It changes the amount of weight that he needs to play. And to be honest with you, I don't know that he'd be playing. Well, I wouldn't be playing too much weight. There is room there for you to draw if you're confident with it. But let's be honest, he's been drawing beautifully, so I don't know why you would change from it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. There's a big chance he could drop in here. He's leading 12-4. Big chance he can draw here to cut it down to 2.
And Jake's still got one to go, so...
Well, he's having a run.
Controlled weight. Looks like he's going to peel underneath. Yeah.
Sliding under.
So now, will Jake just carbon copy his first couple, or is he going to switch to play it safe?
Looks like a carbon copy attempt.
Yep. He's just got to get... I think that front bowl is Calvin's closest, so he just has to beat that.
I don't know if he has, so it may just be the 3.
It was a fair attempt. In a situation like that, the last thing you want to do when you're coming in for a free shot is to muck it up.
3 indeed. Back to 12-7. Very important end, that one for Jake.
Very much so.
He'd love to win this next end as well. Again, he's going short. Similar length end to the previous.
Yeah, I think he's up a couple of metres and about 27, so about a 24, 25 metre end, so reasonably short. Oh, this looks to be a great starter.
It is just going to run behind. Gee, that is quickening up now.
Yeah, isn't it?
You think it's going to finish the other side of the line, and it doesn't.
What a difference a few hours makes.
Yes. Now, important for Calvin to get back into his groove here. Looks to have lovely grass.
Looks very nice. I think his weight is a little over the top, but...
Yeah, he sensed that, turned his back on it pretty quickly.
Okay, let's see what Jack can do with his second, if he's going to correct that weight. He's taken it off a bit.
Yeah, something in between those two would have been perfection.
Yes. A little bit of a game of unders and overs like we all play. Okay, Calvin now looks to be a bit heavy again. Yeah, just running through to not that far from his first, so...
Oh, another opportunity for Jake to put it on it. You can see Jason Scoogens explaining to Calvin just where that bowl has finished.
Jake hasn't sent it again.
Won't be happy with that. Gives Calvin another opportunity to grab shot.
Well, he's got a much better grass line on this one. It's all down to his weight, which looks very good.
Looks like a great bowl. Brilliant.
Yeah,
What a
very
bowl.
nice bowl. It's the last thing you want to see when you throw the kitty down, that someone else gets to it first.
Yeah, Jake will be kicking himself there. He's had 3 bowls that he wasn't happy with. He's having a conversation with his brother Cody about having a run at it. Although Calvin does have 1 to come.
Yeah. If he does it, it's probably a sign of frustration more than anything else. He has been drawing very well. The standard has been higher, but this head doesn't actually show that. But I wouldn't myself. I probably wouldn't be having a run at it. I'd just be trying to draw a round on the left, past my 2 front bowls.
Let's see what he does. He's running. Not enough grass, unfortunately, for Jake. So Calvin has an open shot here at making it 2.
He's got a lot of room there, about 4 or 5 feet behind to 4 feet in front. So that gives you a total of 8 feet to try and draw that a second shot, and that's a lot of room. Calvin will be dirty on himself if he doesn't get one in. Yeah, there you can see. Great shot there, Robbie. And most of you out there know that Robbie Allen is the techno whiz. Puts all the dancing music and lights on for us. What a fantastic shot.
Yep.
Didn't need to be that close, but he was.
Brilliant bowl by Calvin. 14-7. Now Jake really has to do something. Calvin just 7 shots off victory in this final.
Yeah, it's always hard when you're playing singles and you're sitting there looking at your score. Your opponent's doubled it, and it's only your score to the finish. So that's the perfect example. 7-14 to 21.
Yeah, Jake's just got to get back to drawing well. You can't control what your opponent does.
No.
You've just got to put up with the fact that your opponent is playing really, really well, as Calvin is. And Jake's well aware of that. And
yeah, he's certainly got the experience to draw himself out of trouble. And coming in, this one looks to be running right at the correct speed, maybe a little short.
Pretty good opener.
Well, it's good enough.
Yep, pressure straight back on Jake. You can count on one hand the number of shots that Calvin's played that haven't really finished in the in the game.
I think there's two ends or 3 ends where his first 2 bowls haven't been right there. Jake didn't look too happy with that one. This looks good again from Calvin. We could just about record that, Robbie, and put it on a loop.
Yeah. I wonder if there's anyone at the Harvey Bowling Club down towards lovely Bunbury and Bustleton in Western Australia watching Calvin march towards victory in this final.
Well, Jake's certainly having a little bit of a look at this one. Just missing underneath, I think.
Beautiful weight. Just a bit of grass needed.
So yeah, plenty of room there to draw. Well, I don't know if this is going to get back all the way to the line, but if it's behind, it will be handy.
Yep, good spot.
Well, I think Jake's just pinched the line a little bit, taken a bit of weight off.
I imagine there might be a little bit of fatigue setting in too. He's played for a good 2.5 hours this morning in the pairs final as well.
Yeah, and look, it is certainly possible. I'm not sure how it goes for the vision impaired, but being part of the paras, I can tell you that you certainly do fatigue. I mean, it's a little bit more comfortable out there for them now than what it was this morning. That sun, even though it was quite a nice day, so it's still a bit bitey out on the green.
Yes. Yeah, we've got a fair bit of cloud cover now. No chance of any rain, but it's a little cooler now. It's had a good line again, but just taken a bit of weight off.
Yeah.
Goes right in Jake's way.
It is. He's got to stay on the same hand. He's just got to fix his line. I think he's got to not worry about trying to get the shot here. Just make sure that he's got second wood anyway, I believe, with that one out on the right-hand side of the screen.
He's gone very wide here. That won't come back.
No. He didn't quite have the weight either. Looks like it might be a bit more buzzing out there for some people. We apologise for that. We'll get Robbie to get on to Mr. Marshall about getting some new equipment for him. Going for the measure. Just the one.
15-7.
I think it might have been beneficial that end if Jake and Cody had come down before his last bowl so that he could see just how much room there was.
Yeah, it looked a lot worse from the mat. He did have quite a bit of room to get in there. Okay, Calvin now trying to put the foot down and get towards the finish line, which is only 6 shots away. And Jake trying desperately to win some ends and hang on.
Yeah, just string a couple together, even if they're only singles. It doesn't matter. Just get some momentum happening.
Again, you can see the numbers on the ditch to the left of screen, indicating how many metres from the tee.
They're back to about another 28 metre length here, so they're starting to get consistent on these lengths that they're rolling. They seem to be rolling both the same, so they seem to be happy with what they're rolling. It's just the placement of the mat and the kitty that is changing. This one looks good by Jake.
Yeah, this is a much better bowl. That's more like it, Jake Fehlberg.
Yes. Beautiful bowl. And we can pretty much guarantee Jake won't like the score, but I don't think he'll be panicked.
So I think Jason is directing Calvin to change hands here, and
Oh, it's just with his foot placement, he was just showing Calvin how far off the line each of the bowls were.
right. It's to be in the area once again.
And he's looking to roll his own in here. Ooh,
Good effort.
very good effort. Yeah, Jason was putting his foot down to say the yellow bowl was this far, and now he's showing him again that his bowl finished this far from the line. Gives him an idea of like the weight. And Jake has just got the opportunity just to keep drawing them in.
Yes, another good bowl. Second shot.
So that's, you can see Jason just showing him how far off the line that last bowl finished.
That bowl, just where it's situated, makes it a little more difficult for Calvin. He really must come around his own now to get shot on the draw, or he's got to move one of the yellows.
Yeah, and I think, look, to be fair, I think the last line he took was okay, given he was trying to roll his own bowl up. If he went back to the draw, I think he'd probably be just under his bowl, which is, I think, what's in his mind, but I think that's what they're talking about now. Mind you, they could be talking about flipping eggs for all we know. Those hand gestures look like they were sunny side up.
Well, he's going in, staying on his forehand. I reckon he might run at it.
I think a little bit of weight, yeah. That bowl's, it's only 1.5, 2 bowls in front, so...
He likes it.
Mm,
Now he's not liking it.
no.
No, it wasn't one shot weight.
Okay, let's see what Jake will do here. See if he'll try and pop one right behind, or... Yeah, definitely going behind, which is a good idea. And that's a great placement too. So just looking out at the green itself, and yeah, it looks 2 bowls in front of Kitty, so he might be just looking to arrive on that front right bowl of Jake's, just to push him through. And now, well, now he's looking on the other hand to come underneath, bring it back to his, but I don't know that he'll make that shot. It might be requiring too much weight, unless he's looking to play onto Jake's bowl. We'll know when he stands on the mat.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what he can produce.
Looks to be a bit more weight.
They're trying to just sit that bowl through. No, I think he's... yeah.
A little underdone it again.
If that's okay.
Opportunity for Jake to get within just the 5 again.
It's an opportunity you really don't want to waste. A free shot. Looks very good.
Yep. I think that's going to be in the count.
Yeah, very nice. Very lovely bowl there from Jake.
Yep. Great end played by Jake Fehlberg there to stay in the match. 15-10. First to 21.
It's always good to reach double figures in a game of singles.
Absolutely. Something I haven't done on quite a few occasions.
You're not alone.
Okay, going a little longer now.
Yeah, the mat is up about 4 metres here. So, and the kitty looks like it's going to be on the tee. So it'll be about 31 metres.
Might be a little tight, but
A little bit runny, but it's not that bad. It's just, yeah, it's the grass more than anything.
Yeah, the faster the green, the wider it gets.
Unfortunately. Calvin's on a very nice arc line here. Coming back to the midline, just might be a tad short.
Yeah, lovely grass. Important for Jake to get one in there now.
Yeah, just looking to just slide past that. Very important for the confidence just to have shot. Doesn't have to sit on the kitty, just has to be shot. Which this one is going to be.
Yep, great bowl.
Great correction.
Now, does that force Calvin onto his other hand?
I think it will.
Just
Well,
asking the question there, how far short of kitty is Jake's bowl? Give an
Jason.
indication whether he can get around it or not.
Jason's just showing him how far off the centre line that bowl is, so he can see now he can get around it.
Staying on his backhand.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he can probably draw around it, but there's a tendency on your backhand to go narrow. So
Weight looks pretty good.
what a fantastic shot.
Yeah. Brilliant.
He really backed himself there.
He did.
That's fantastic to see. I wouldn't have been that confident. Yeah, good territory here from Jake.
A little speedy.
bit runny, yep.
Beautiful grass line.
And in a very good home too if he chooses to attack. Okay. He has changed his hand now that he has shot, so doesn't want to risk rolling Jake up. And that's a very good switch. Very good switch from Calvin.
Fantastic bowl. Some real pressure now on Jake at 15-10 down.
Yeah, it's got to go and have a look. Good call, boys.
So Cody's been out there a while too. He was obviously Jake's vision director in the pairs final earlier this morning.
The brotherly love runs deep. Either that or he's paying him by the hour.
Oh, it's great to see. I mean, the time these guys have to put in to practice to be at this level is certainly high.
Oh, and we spoke about it this morning, the level of trust. They're certainly looking at playing to roll Jake's in.
Yeah.
He does have a chance to roll his in, or if he's under it, to sit those shot bowls. So I might ask ask him to pop over here so I can do that shoelace up for him, because that's annoying me. He's just double checking, making sure he's confident with his shot selection.
He's having a dig here.
He
Looking at the
is having
kitty.
a run, and he's on target. Bang, bang.
Oh, what a bowl.
What a terrific shot. It's just unfortunate for Jake that Calvin's bowl did not go
It's
out.
just stayed on like 6 inches off the ditch.
Otherwise, he would have been holding a 4.
That was a big change up. We haven't seen many shots of that
No.
speed or weight. And very accurate.
Yeah, he hit it plumb, exactly where he needed to get rid of them both. Another roll and that ball would have gone in the ditch, and Jack would have been sitting there as a 4, and the pressure would have been on Calvin. As it is now, Calvin's just looking and say, well, doesn't really matter, I'm happy to go one down. He's going to have a
run at the bowl.
Yeah. Well, why not?
It's not far away.
It's just not going to get back, I think, but it's a very good effort.
Good effort.
Look at that. Just landed straight on the kitty.
So just the 1 to Jake Fehlberg. Keeps him well and truly in it to 15-11.
Certainly is fighting back.
Those last 5 or 6 shots are always the hardest to get.
Very much so. It's very important to keep relaxed. You get close to the end, you tense up and things start to go wrong. Jake and Cody's just having a bit of a discussion about the length that he should go. This looks to be a minimum. I'd say that's
short.
just in.
Yep.
He looks to be 2 metres up, and it's just past the 23.
Yep, no problem with that.
So, oh, he's pinched his line a little.
Well, we would love to grab that kitty there.
Absolutely. And boy, has that finished a lot further than away from the kitty than you think.
So we're bathed in sunshine once again.
Got a great bowl coming in from Calvin.
He's bowled that side so well.
Yeah, he's really found his grass early on that side, and he's just stuck with it through the majority of the game. There's a better grass here.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be far away. Just coming under, but
that'll be Jack high, so that'll be shot. So 1 to Jake there. So see if Calvin can make his correction. Got the right grass again.
Yeah, still one to
One
Jake.
to Jake.
Just seeking advice to how far short that is off his brother Cody.
This is a very nice line for Jake's bowls. Yeah, what a fantastic shot.
Slide it. There's 2 shots.
Yes, there we 2 there for Jake. So, Calvin again, the same line, so he's just trying to make that correction on his weight, which I think he's gone long again.
Yeah, he's just overdone it a bit, so opportunity now for Jake to draw a 3rd shot.
Draw a 3rd shot and he'll put Calvin under some real pressure. He's got the grass again.
Has he got the weight?
No, I don't think he does. Would have been nice if that had finished in line with his other ones. It'd take the upshot out of the equation, but I don't think Calvin's going to panic and go for that.
No, the way he's been drawing throughout the match, he's just got to stick to what he knows. Just react to his previous bowls and draw the shot, as we've seen him do so many times before.
I wonder if he will use that bowl of Jake's on the wing because it's almost jack high. He could almost change hands and use that as a guide. Get Jason to... No, he's going to stick with his forehand. Yeah, it's the line again. It's never wrong with the line.
He doesn't like it. He knows he's heavy.
Yeah.
And indeed he is. So
it's 2 more to Jake.
2 more to Jake. 15-13. It's hotting up.
And now, if you're Calvin, you're starting to get a little bit annoyed with yourself for losing 3 in a row.
Yep.
6 shots in 3 ends is never a good feeling.
And as we were talking about, when Jake was down 15-7, it's just got to be one end at a time.
That's
drag
right.
the shots back, try and win each end, and let the
You shift the
shots set up.
scales. Shift the scales of the pressure.
He's come from a position with nothing to lose to now he's right back into it, and Calvin starts to question, are my tactics right? Do I need to change anything?
That's right.
To be fair, though, they've both drawn very well, but Calvin has had the more in the head, where Jake has had to play a few more on shots and may have missed by half a bowl here or half a bowl there.
Early on, he was very unlucky with some shots, yes.
Overall, the standards have been extremely high, and Jake's off to a pretty good start here.
Yeah, that's a great bowl. That's sitting on the kitty, resting toucher by the looks of it. Robbie's a bit behind. There we go. Just gave him a whip to get him into gear. No, you're the boss, Robbie. You show what camera angle you like, mate.
Good reply here from Cal.
Great reply. It was 2, Robbie.
Jake.
2 to Jake, so it's 13-15.
Discussion going on here between Jake and Cody as to which hand to play now, and he has switched over to his backhand.
Yeah, good advice.
Looks to be good again.
It's a fantastic line. It's just whether he's got the run.
Yeah, it's
It just
not
looks
there.
like it's, just pulling up.
And no points for being short here. He needs to be up because the shot is not going to go forward.
Well, very rarely.
And indeed, he's done that. Gives him an opportunity now to play onto the shot bowl and flick the jack back to his.
Yep. His next 2 bowls.
Great shot there, Robbie.
Yep. That's a great shot.
This has got more weight on it.
This is around the back also by the looks of it, if he clears his own. Oh, just clipped it. But he's still going behind, which is good.
Yep, good spot.
Well, with those bowls there, you really can't draw that shot, so you've got to play a little bit of weight on, whether it's a foot or a metre, it doesn't matter.
And with the kitty touching that bowl, it will spring fairly fast and travel some distance with only a slight touch.
He's certainly looking for it. He's got, just unlucky there.
Oh, great effort.
Oh, fantastic. Now that can actually change the weight he needs for the next shot now. He's got that bowl only a couple of feet behind.
Now Jake, having been 8 behind at one stage, was looking for numbers. Now he knows he just needs to get 1 or 2.
That's right.
And
so
he can probably go behind with this bowl now.
yeah, definitely play a defensive shot. Look to keep just the 1, or is he looking to play underneath that onto the second wood? That
might be a blocker. Bring back the blocker.
Oh, a blocker is a favourite tactic of mine. I don't mind a block every once
No,
in
I'm
a
a fan too. Love the blocker.
I'll quite often play a blocker and go, oh, bugger, I put it short.
Oh, you're one of those fellas. Sorry, mate.
No, it's all good.
Sorry, mate. It was short.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're just looking at an angle here, where it's going to go if he does run into the shot bowl.
Yeah, I think they're right. If he plays the ditch side and comes in onto that bowl, he's gonna push the kitty over to Jake's back bowl. I think the only real way that he can get that bowl off without doing too much damage is to try to split the yellow and blue with only just a foot of weight.
Yeah, good point. He could, in fact, get 3 with a perfect bowl.
If he can split those, he can push that yellow out, kitty back a little bit, sit for 3. Really shift the momentum of the game. Well, that looks to be what he's trying to do. He's close.
He likes it.
I like it.
He's got contact, I think.
Oh.
One more to Jake Fehlberg. Won the difference.
Unlucky.
What a final we have here. 15-14.
Wow.
That's a great comeback from Jake. Just as I was saying, he may be a bit fatigued. He's just turned it around and put some terrific bowls in.
Well, that's what they call the commentator's curse, isn't it? Calvin will be chasing you down. I'll be telling Calvin after the match. So it's Adam's fault.
All right. Jake surely will stick to the short end.
I'd be very surprised if he rolled anything larger than 24 or 25 metres.
Yeah, he's really... Calvin has struggled to get... I mean, on the longer ends, his weight has been perfect.
28 to 32, he has really been on it.
Yes.
Under 25, he has just struggled to get the right weight. The line's been perfect. That's 4 in a row now that Calvin has lost. And sometimes in bowls, that can become a trend.
Yes. Jake's opened with a pretty good starter.
Yeah, it's only a foot short of the kitty there. That's okay. It's usable if you're coming in on the other hand. Certainly blocks up that one side. Really, really needs to jump on this first, Calvin. Well, he has the line, and the weight looks very good.
This is a very good starter. Yep.
Well, he's got the shot. He's about a foot short.
Jake probably needs to change hands.
I certainly would be, yes.
Can roll his own up, can grab Kitty, or can sit the shot bowl.
Yeah, 3 chances there. He's a seasoned campaigner. He knows what he needs to do. He's certainly given an opportunity.
He's in the area.
Very close. Very great reply.
Oh!
He did not need that touch.
Wow.
Well, I think Calvin's still got it. It certainly moved the Kitty over, but... And it still hasn't changed the shot for Jake when he gets back on the mat either, unless Calvin does something here.
On the draw.
And here he comes.
More weight than his first.
He's under his own bowl.
Oh.
Well, that's close to being the second shot. Mark is just having a look, see what he thinks. One blue. Cody's just asking which one the shot bowl is. So that is the shot bowl there. So I think we'll see Jake repeat what he did on the last one.
He was not far away.
He has corrected the line of the bowl for a draw.
Just needs to hurry a little.
Yeah, he just doesn't quite have the weight, or does he? No, not quite.
Oh.
It's a beautiful line for the draw.
2.5 feet short.
Still left himself an opportunity with the last bowl.
They're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, that the trust in your vision director is is key.
Very much so. You certainly wouldn't want them to be drinking throughout the day. They'll lose perspective.
Counts a few people I know out of being vision directors.
Well, that's not finished in a bad spot, considering that we are expecting Jake to come back down on this hand again.
Jake has 2 bowls he can run into now. Again, he's got good grass on draw weight.
Yeah, if he makes it around his front bowl, he's got to slow up a little. Oh. Well,
Good effort again, but Jake just rearing. Wishes he had one more go at that, because it was quite gettable. His weight was great to run into one of those 2.
that's what I was saying this morning. Have 6 in the bag, not 4.
Okay, plenty of grass here, and just let it drift in.
Yeah, don't give it away. He's wide enough.
Yeah, he's done the first part correctly.
Yeah, he's got a good weight for another shot here.
He likes it.
Yeah. So I dare say that'll be 2.
Yeah, great bowl. Well, he's been on 15 for a good half an hour, so he'll be glad he's off that number.
Yeah, they're pulling out the measure, I think, for the second shot or the third shot. Let's see which one they go to. Certainly looks like 2.
I think.
Did we have an update, Robbie, on the score for the pairs?
Last we saw was 92, and they just scored another 5.
Okay, so Chris Flavel and Jimmy Reynolds into the final of the pairs.
They're calling an umpire here for a look at the third shot. Get to see the lasers again, Andrew.
I love the lasers.
Have the lasers down at Morford Vale?
No. The only laser we have there is when we laser level. I think most country clubs have still got to buy them themselves. I think that they should be a mandatory thing for tournaments, though.
Yes.
Like I said, having 1-2 measures with a laser yesterday of 0.6 and 0.5 of a millimetre, I'm all in favour for them.
These lasers go to the thousandth of a mil.
Robbie's just telling us that at Musgrave they got down to 0.003 of a millimetre, and then the next one was exactly the same. Wouldn't you be upset with that?
Very important here. Trying to get the laser centered exactly.
Okay, so they've rolled Jake's bowl out, so that's just 2 to Calvin, was it? 2? Yeah, 2 to Calvin.
17-14.
And Calvin is off 15 now.
And on the springboard, can go out in one end.
Yes. Now, if you were Jake, you'd still feel like the momentum is with you. Just having won 4 in a row.
It's been a cracking final.
Oh.
These two Jackaroos.
And game 3 coming up today that we're covering is at 2:30. That's the multi-disability open pairs final. And that's between Chris Flavel with Jimmy Reynolds, and they're playing against Tony Burnell and Josh Barry. So that's going to be a real cracking game. They're all Jackaroos.
Okay, we're going back to a longer end, more to Calvin's favour. Looks to be a pretty good opener.
It's coming home nicely now.
Yeah, that's really swinging in now from out wide, isn't it? Lovely opener.
Almost finishing at 90 degrees. That tells you. They're finishing at just under 45 degrees this morning.
Really important for Jake to build ahead here.
I think he's just pinched his line, but if he can hold up...
Weight's very good.
Yeah, that's not unusable.
Jason Scourgeon's vision director for Calvin Rodgers just explaining exactly where that bowl has finished.
Down he comes again on that perfect line. Very rarely does he miss that. Just a little long this time, maybe.
Pretty good spot, but
Might not necessarily be a very tight head, but it's a very playable head.
This is plenty of grass here from Jake, maybe a bit too much.
Well, the way his first one went across, I'd expect this one to come
Here
right
she comes,
back to the
you're right.
line. Yeah.
Oh,
Might even be shot.
no.
Maybe not.
One indicated there to Calvin, but gee, that came in a lot. This is really sped up.
Yeah.
Just that, shows the quality. This is not an easy little 12-second green. It's a
No.
17-second green, and these guys are putting it right on it.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, I like faster greens myself. It really makes the game a little bit harder, but a bit more technical. But these guys adjusting on the fly is not always easy. It's easy to jump on a 17-second green and play, but when you start it a second or so slower and it speeds up, and for poor Jake, he's probably 2 seconds.
Yes. A little tighter line. Yeah, it's going across the face of the head.
Okay. Calvin and Jason just having a bit of a chat on the way down.
I think they'll be trying to draw again on that on the front blue of his own bowl.
Yeah, it's certainly the high percentage shot. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's lining up for that.
Nice line once again.
And I think he's just dropped the weight.
It's trying.
Oh, it's
Just only one has been indicated, so
it's open for Jake to make some change there if he wants to go down and have a look. He's certainly got a couple of options.
he can play positive weight. Look for the shot bowl.
I reckon the one on the left, which is shot, if he played 2 or 3 feet onto that, he could sit that out for 3.
That's the bowl. That's the bowl to play. Discussions between Jake Fehlberg and his brother Cody.
So, and to anyone who might be listening, no, we can't pass them notes to give them advice, and they can't hear us.
Okay, selected his shot. He's going at the jack, I think.
Well, I think he might be going the bowl.
Tell you what, he's not far away here.
He's close.
Very close.
What
He's
a
got
shot.
it. What a bowl.
Shot.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, what a call. What a shot. I mean, when someone's sitting on the edge like Calvin is on 17, you play something positive like that to pick up 2 or 3 shots. It's
amazing. And not easy to play a little swinger like that on a 17-second green.
No, it is not. Well, there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3.
What a bowl. That could be the bowl of the match, Jake Fehlberg.
That has
3
changed
shots, all
everything.
square. Could you get a better final?
Yeah. What a fantastic bowl. Very well executed. And hard enough to do if you had perfect sight. Let alone a couple of little instructions. We might have to do that one day. Just put on a couple of blindfolds and we'll have a game against each other.
Oh, man. I've got to find a director I can trust.
Yeah.
It's an interesting project.
I've done it with a couple of friends that are in wheelchairs, and I've played them.
Yeah.
And put myself in a wheelchair and played against them, and the perspective from a wheelchair is so much different when you're 6'1" tall. So I got absolutely walloped.
You. All right, here we go, Jake.
He's swinging in now.
He's gone a little longer than he had previously.
Yes, he has. This would be the sort of length that I would expect that Calvin would have played, but he has moved the mat up probably a good 1.5 meters, 2 metres than what Calvin usually does, so maybe he's trying to trick him up there. It looks like he's just pinched the
not
line a
happy.
little. No.
So Jake's been able to put some real pressure on Calvin here, who just 45 minutes or so ago led 15-7, and we're now all square.
And this is another good bowl from Jake.
Yeah. About 3 feet past opportunity for Calvin to draw. This is where he opened the game so well, about this length.
Yes. Yes, but I think it was running about a
Bit
second
slower.
slower.
Yeah.
So, and I think you can tell that from the distance across the middle line his bowl is now finishing.
Yep.
Hasn't quite made that full correction.
This looks pretty handy. Yeah, that'll be shot.
Yeah, that's shot. Still crossing the line a little, so he's still pinching it a little bit, but
Now there might be
Jason's down there letting him know.
Many might be keen here to play forehand, trying to trail Kitty, but I think Jake's playing the right rein here.
Yes.
Pull the right rein. Just keep drawing.
Yep. Yeah, he's in the area again. And
Yeah,
this will probably
This could
really...
be shot.
Yeah, this is perfect shot. This
Wow.
could demoralise what
These
Calvin's
guys
trying to achieve.
These guys have vision impairments for those at home. Incredible bowls.
And Jason's just saying to him, look, a little trail of the Kitty there, you could have 2. Calvin's going, not a problem, let me give it a go.
It was tight.
Well, he's got the weight for chasing the bowl, but I think he's underneath. No, he doesn't have the weight.
No.
I thought he had the line there chasing the bowl, but Jake's putting the pressure on.
Discussion here between the brothers about what to do, but I think the draw is the bowl to play.
Yeah, ideally he'd want to finish a foot or 2 behind the Kitty on the line, just in case Calvin does have a little trail of the Kitty. He'll still be in play, but
This looks pretty good again. Has he got the legs?
he could certainly block this up. No, so 1 to Jake. Calvin get to play his last.
Jake has not been in front in this match at any stage.
No. The last time they were even was at the start when it was 0-0. Oh, 1-1. Yeah, that's correct. Thanks, Robbie. 1-1.
You're on top of it again, Robbie.
No, not letting us get away with anything.
Okay, playing positive weight.
He's got the weight to try to trail the Kitty or sit the bowl out. No, he doesn't. That again. That it looked
Ducked away, yeah.
it looked like it had the weight.
1 to Jake. He hits the front for the first time in this final. 18-17. From 15-5 down. 15-7 down. He's now in front. 18-17. What a comeback. So all the momentum with him now. His draw bowling has improved in the last half hour. He's putting pressure on Calvin, and Calvin's game has just gone off that little bit.
Yeah, and look, I think the difference is that speed. We've seen Calvin's bowl a lot finish across the line, whereas before he was finishing perfectly on the line. He's yet to make that slight adjustment. I don't think it'll be something that will suffer with the rest of the game. They're both far too good for that.
Lovely smooth delivery. Looking to be
Looking very
pretty
nice.
good.
Just
sitting
going
in there.
across.
And there you see the speed of the green. Just
Yeah.
that looked like it was going to be within 18 inches, and it's now a good 4 feet.
And it's a little bit counterintuitive to the players too, because the clouds are a little bit darker, the cooler air has come through, so you think the green's a bit heavier than it is.
This looks to have nice grass. In she swings
Very
now.
nice. Swinging home nicely
Yeah,
now.
very good opener from Calvin Rodgers. Nice grass.
Yeah, I do like this line.
I think Jake likes it too.
Look at this.
What a reply.
Oh, beautiful ball.
One to Jake. Over to you, Calvin.
Yeah, beat that. Not that you can see on the scoreboard there that they've done 19 ends. Not that that matters in a singles game, but when you think that Jake's been out there for 15 ends prior to that, it starts to put things into a little bit perspective.
Yeah, he's done exceptionally well. I think he likes this too.
Yeah, very nice line, this one.
Gee, he's hit his straps the last half hour. Look at this. Grabs that. Oh. We'll be close to a second shot. Only one.
Well, yeah, I favour Calvin's for second, but I think where Jake's has finished is a very good home.
Absolutely. He likes this. He's on the trot.
It is coming home now.
Is he there? He's there.
Just passed. Is he going to stop on that bowl or he's going to roll off of it? Ooh.
Good bowl.
Well, it's still just the one.
Does Jake try and cover those blues? He can still grab a second shot whilst doing that.
Exactly. Just sit on that blue bowl that's out there on the left-hand side of the screen. Just sit that and you count and cover. Really pile
Close
on the
here.
pressure then, because
He's very close.
very good, very nice. That's enough for two, is it?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. Now, the pressure's back on Calvin.
Yes, because if he comes down with too much weight and rolls that one bowl of his out, oh, look at that. If he rolls that one out, he could go down game.
Mm. It is not far off third shot, that yellow, and if that blue goes an inch or so, it will be.
It is very close for third shot, so you'd be expecting Calvin just to look for a draw inside of his own to make sure that he does not drop game. It is only draw weight. Very good line again.
Is he there? Yes, he is.
It's coming home now.
Tad
It's
heavy
just
again.
a tad heavy, but he's going to sit that bowl, which takes the... Yeah, that
Guarantees it to be two.
Yes.
Wow. Jake Fehlberg all of a sudden, one from one shot from being the champion of the 2024 Australian Open Vision-Impaired Open Singles. Jake's drawing, the back end of this match has been unbelievable.
It's been fantastic. In all honesty, I mean, look, you and I both know a lot of top grade bowlers, and there'd be a lot of bowlers out there who could watch this and not even think that there's a vision impairment problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'd be very happy to bowl those sort of things themselves. Jake now is going for a longer end, which is probably going to play into Calvin's hands, I would have thought. This is the sort of length he's been playing.
Yeah, he's really mixed it up a bit when he's had the mat, Jake. He's
not giving Calvin a chance to settle into the change of mat. Just a little wide, but behind, so useful.
okay, some big bowls here from Calvin.
Alan G on the chat there saying, come on, Calvin. And I think everybody around here is saying that. There's quite a crowd here. It's not really in perspective on the live stream, but there certainly is quite a bit of interest. This looks to be very good from...
More like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, great opener from Calvin.
Just what we were saying, this is more of Calvin's length. He's more comfortable. Jake's come down.
Tight?
Yeah, he is tight, but he's got some weight to hold him up for a little bit longer. Now, that held on for such a long time.
I thought it was go on that, but
what a great bowl for him to have in reserve. And what a position to be in. I think Calvin's a little bit long with this one, but that's not going to be... if he gets
grass
past...
line's been good. It's going to... could be second shot, even.
Well, it's in a great home, but now Calvin's got... Jake has got a lot of opportunity coming down on his backhand, on his forehand, I mean. He's going to stay with the backhand now, but just keep that forehand in reserve.
On a good heading once again.
This is a very good bowl. What pressure.
Yeah. Oh, he's just a little bit of
Yeah.
weight off. That was a tracking straight at it. So Jason Scoochins just explaining to Calvin where that bowl's finished, so he certainly needs to be around that.
Well, if he's around that, I dare say he'll be almost holding game with his last bowl if Jake... Oh no, I think that's a missed opportunity there.
With that, when the cloud cover comes over, it does seem to slow that half a second, quarter of a second.
Yeah. Yeah, good territory. He's got the weight to reach, that's for sure.
This is a great bowl. Is this a winning bowl? Can he grab Jack? Oh, what a great effort.
I think
He can't believe it missed.
I think the whole row of people sitting down thought that had the kitty. Well, if Calvin draws this in, we could be looking at a situation of a 20-all going back the other way.
And to be fair, that's what this match is worthy of. It's been a cracker.
Oh, they're not fun though. The two of mine were 2021 wins yesterday after the bell. 20 all on the bell. It's not fun to play that.
Yes, I've lost a 21-19 and a 21-20 in the last week.
It's definitely coming in the other hand, trying to draw for 3. I think he's just lost the weight on that. So
he's willing it on, but it's not going to get there. We might have a measure here for 2. Two shots indeed. Jake Fehlberg 20, Calvin Rodgers 19. What a match.
well, is this going to be the last end?
Now, what length is he going to play, Andrew?
I don't know. He'd have to stay long. He'd
I
have to go
agree.
28, but he's not. That looks short. That looks around.
Yeah, mid.
I'm confused. Jake rolled Calvin's length, and now Calvin's rolling Jake's length. Well, he's put the kitty there, so he thinks he can put the bowls there.
Rightio, game on once again. Who's going to get to the kitty first? Nice, smooth delivery once again from the man from Harvey, WA.
Yeah, coming in nicely now. It's still finishing strong on that hand.
Great opener. You've just got to remind yourself these guys have impaired vision. It's just, the standard has been incredible. Jake, now to answer.
Very nicely down, Jake.
What a response. What a response. It's incredible. Over to you, Calvin Rodgers.
It's an absolutely fantastic game.
Smooth away once again. In the area once
He's
again.
very close. Oh,
He's going to grab it through the hole.
thought he was going to be swapping paint again. Now, Jake's going to stay on that hand. Just put second wood in.
Now he turns his back. He's relying on Cody to tell him what's happening with the bowl. He's got his monocular device up there too to give him some vision.
Well, I think that's second maybe.
Okay. Calvin down match at the head. He likes this.
No, he's not going to turn in time.
No,
he's
not.
going
Too
to
much
finish
weight.
behind. So if you're Jake, you really want to get second wood. You only need one, but if you've got one on each side of the kitty, he can't take them both out at the same time.
Third, yeah. So decision time.
So he's holding 2. So now
He's also down 3 at the back.
yes. he's got to go behind to cover.
Has to. He does have a bowl after this. However, I think that's the right thing to do. I'd be going back.
Yeah, he needs to reach that middle bowl of Calvin's at the back. You don't want to drop a 2 because that's what Calvin needs to win. So you need to minimise that. If you're going to go down, 1 is the score.
That is indeed what he's trying to do here, I think. He hasn't got the weight.
Well,
He's drawn a third shot.
well,
So Calvin's got some choices here, Andrew.
He's got some very difficult choices. I don't think he can afford to run at it anymore.
Under pressure, he's got to draw it
He has to draw it.
18 inches or less, or he's running to try and move it back to his bowls and hold match and put pressure back on Jake.
Well, when you game down, it's a very hard choice. It's very brave if he tries to run. A lot of people do if they're down by 10 or 11 shots, but I don't think I've seen many people run at it when they're this close. So he is trying to draw just to get shot.
He looks a little heavy, perhaps.
But if he's on track for the yellow bowl, so if he sits that...
He's got the key.
Oh,
he's got the hole again.
Yeah. So
Jake Fehlberg.
Jake won't play his last.
He's won
That'll be it.
Incredible match, ladies and gentlemen.
What a fantastic game.
Jake Fehlberg from Bargara in Queensland defeats Calvin Rodgers from Harvey Bowls Club in Western Australia 21-19 in an absolute cracker of a final.
Kudos to both players there. I mean, you wouldn't be upset if either one of them won after a game like that.
They can both hold their heads up very high and be proud of their efforts. That was a very, very high quality match. And both showed that they fully deserve their positions with the Jackaroo squad.
Oh, and look, kudos to the directors as well, because they've had to hold their nerve to make sure that they haven't made a mistake.
Cody looks a little stressed out. He's
look at him.
he's
like, thank God there's not another game.
Wow.
That was a fantastic game, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks on behalf of Gold Coast Tweed media team, on behalf of Bowls Australia. We do have one more match to go at 2:30, which is the multi-disability open pairs final. Chris Flavel and Jimmy Reynolds against Tony Bennell and Josh Barry. It'll be a cracker of the game. All four of them.
Yes, folks, the Australian Open is supported by Experience Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. Bowls Australia would like to thank Club Map, Resources Hub, for webinars, club health checks, support resources across various topics. Thank you, Club Map. And a reminder that BPL Cup team registrations are now open. Get your team together and register at bowls.com.au/BPL Cup. We'll see you in half an hour, ladies and gentlemen, for the multi-disability pairs final. See you shortly.